If you're talking about sex, and that's a nut. That's not me. Go to the guy down the street because it's not Michael Jackson. It's not what I'm interested in.
If you think Michael Jackson died simply because of a careless doctor, then maybe you haven't heard the whole story. And if the image you have of Diddy is just that of a successful artist with a few romantic scandals, then what you know is just the visible tip of a much larger iceberg hidden below the surface. Across forums and podcasts worldwide, a chilling theory is gaining traction. Michael Jackson's death may not have been a tragic medical mishap. It could have been orchestrated by a hidden power operating deep within the entertainment industry. And at the center of this storm is none other than P. Diddy. As he faces a tidal wave of allegations, from human trafficking to sexual assault, an unexpected name has resurfaced: Fahim Muhammad, once Michael Jackson's closest bodyguard, and now allegedly in charge of Diddy's private security. This isn't just a scandal. It's a web of events that reads like a crime novel, leading us from lavish mansions in Hollywood to secret underground tunnels, and an alleged conspiracy that could completely change the way you see the entertainment world. And once you've heard the full story, you may never look at Michael Jackson or Diddy the same way again. If you enjoy stories like this, don't forget to subscribe for more. Michael Jackson's final days were far from peaceful, despite what the public saw through the cameras. He still smiled in interviews, still spoke excitedly about his upcoming This Is It tour, but behind the scenes, he lived in a state of constant anxiety. Michael was stressed, paranoid, and deeply fearful. He confided multiple times to close friends and family that he felt like he was being watched, that someone or something was out to get him. One of his last recorded statements is nothing short of chilling. "They're trying to kill me. They want to take over my entire music catalog." Michael Jackson wasn't just a performer. He owned one of the most valuable music catalogs in existence. Beyond his own creations, he held rights to legendary songs by artists like the Beatles and Elvis Presley, thanks to his stake in Sony/ATV. That catalog was worth billions of dollars. In a world where power often walks hand in hand with manipulation, having a single man control something so valuable was never going to be safe. And then things got strange. The first person to discover Michael unconscious was none other than Fahim Muhammad, his longtime head of security. It was Fahim who entered the bedroom and found him unresponsive. According to court testimony, Michael's personal doctor, Conrad Murray, was in a complete panic, fumbling to perform CPR. Fahim's account became a key piece of evidence in the case against Murray. But what raised even more questions was what happened afterward. Following Michael Jackson's death, Fahim Muhammad didn't fade into obscurity or retreat into a quiet life away from the spotlight. Instead, he pivoted and began working for none other than P. Diddy, one of the most powerful figures in the entertainment business, and now the focal point of some of the darkest legal accusations in Hollywood history. The man who witnessed Michael Jackson's final moments is now responsible for protecting the very individual at the heart of these explosive lawsuits. That alone begs the question, is Fahim just doing his job? Or is he part of something bigger, deeper, and more connected than we're being told?
Because supposedly there's a tunnel connected from Diddy's house to Michael Jackson's house.
No way.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I actually did not know that.
Now. So I fact-checked this whole thing. There's only proof that in Diddy's pool, there's tunnels leading to a private grotto.
And is it the Playboy Mansion? Because I know the Playboy Mansion for sure.
No.
Had tunnel.
It's his own house. So according to the website, it has a private theater that can fit 35 people. And the most curious thing about his property is that the underwater tunnel connected to a grotto is inside a mansion.
Oh, damn.
Sean Combs, better known as P. Diddy, has long been celebrated as a symbol of Black excellence and hustle in the entertainment world. From record producer to fashion mogul, from extravagant parties to high-profile relationships with stars like Jennifer Lopez, Diddy has always projected the image of a man in full control of a vast empire. But what most people don't realize is that behind all that glitz, there might just be a labyrinth. And in this case, we don't mean metaphorically. We're talking about an actual, physical maze. A bizarre rumor began making the rounds, one that claimed there was a secret tunnel connecting Diddy's mansion to Michael Jackson's former home. Sounds absurd? Maybe. But if you haven't heard this before, you're not alone. I didn't believe it either until I started digging. The first verified detail is this. Within the pool area of Diddy's estate, there are water passageways that lead to what's referred to as a grotto, a private, man-made cave. That alone drew instant comparisons to the Playboy Mansion, where secret tunnels once connected to secluded party spaces, completely hidden from the public eye. But this isn't Hefner's domain, it's Diddy's private residence. One real estate website even published details showing that Diddy's Beverly Hills mansion includes a private movie theater with 35 seats. But what truly stunned readers was the architectural design, a tunnel beneath the pool leading into that hidden grotto embedded in the house itself. Recently, online communities have been buzzing about a shocking discovery. Diddy's massive estate, spanning thousands of square feet, is rumored to include a network of underground tunnels leading to this grotto. The layout, eerily similar to the Playboy Mansion, suggests a setup built for secrecy, where private gatherings are completely walled off from the outside world. And the theories didn't stop there. According to viral posts on Reddit and conspiracy-themed podcasts, there may be as many as 5 tunnels extending from Diddy's home to other nearby estates in Beverly Hills. And one of those properties? Allegedly once belonged to Michael Jackson. Of course, skeptics were quick to dismiss the idea, arguing there's no concrete evidence of any direct tunnel between Diddy's mansion and Michael Jackson's former home. But if you've followed scandals involving the ultra-wealthy, you'll know this. The more hidden something is, the more likely it is to be real. Leaked architectural plans of Diddy's estate don't just show a luxurious home, they reveal a highly sophisticated structure. It includes an underground movie theater for 35 guests, hidden rooms secured with biometric locks, and multiple layers of advanced security. In a setup this complex, the idea that one of those tunnels could lead to Michael's house, especially since they were once neighbors, suddenly doesn't seem so far-fetched. And then there's another strange detail that most people overlook. Right behind Diddy's estate sits what used to be a container storage yard, a place used for industrial shipping and freight. Which begs the question, why would one of the wealthiest, most image-conscious entertainers in Hollywood buy a mansion that backs onto something so aesthetically unappealing? Some chalk it up to coincidence. But the rumors paint a different picture, one involving special shipments legally transported under the guise of ordinary logistics, concealing things that no one wants exposed to daylight. So now the question isn't just whether Diddy is caught up in a scandal, it's whether he's simply a major player in entertainment, or the figurehead of something far more sinister. A hidden empire, masked by the glitz of music and celebrity. A world where artistry is just a cover for something much darker underneath. And if Michael Jackson, once a friend, a neighbor, a man who believed he was being watched, died suddenly after allegedly preparing to expose something, was his death really just a medical mishap? At this point, it's not just gossip. It's not tabloid whispers or backroom chatter. Diddy, once hailed as a symbol of success, luxury, and cultural influence, is now facing a series of allegations that could shake the very foundation of modern music. Starting in late 2023 and continuing into 2024, a wave of lawsuits came crashing down on Diddy. But these weren't the usual celebrity disputes over contracts or royalties. These were something else entirely, darker, deeper, and more disturbing. The charges range from sexual assault, physical and psychological abuse, and human trafficking to hosting secretive, hedonistic parties, and, perhaps most disturbing of all, allegedly running a sophisticated blackmail operation. This operation reportedly involved secretly filming celebrities, models, and powerful figures during private, behind-the-scenes gatherings, then using that footage as leverage. One of the most explosive lawsuits comes from rapper Lil Rod, who previously worked with Diddy. In court filings, Lil Rod described years of experiences that he says were filled with pressure, manipulation, and fear. He claims he was coerced, monitored, threatened, and ultimately forced into silence. But what truly shocked observers wasn't just the allegations against Diddy. It was a name that kept appearing throughout the legal documents: Fahim Muhammad. Yes, the same Fahim who once led Michael Jackson's security detail and who is now reportedly in charge of Diddy's personal security network. According to the complaints, Fahim wasn't just another bodyguard. He was described as the cleaner, the fixer, the person tasked with ensuring that problems never reached the public eye. someone allegedly responsible for helping to cover up some of Diddy's most serious actions, keeping outsiders from ever knowing what really happened behind closed doors. And here's what makes it even more chilling. Fahim Muhammad was also the very first person to walk into Michael Jackson's bedroom and discover his lifeless body. This isn't speculation pulled from the internet. These are sworn statements on record in court. There are too many coincidences, too many threads connecting the same names. And at a certain point, we all have to ask, are these still coincidences, or are we looking at a pattern that someone's gone to great lengths to conceal?